What I'm seeing in the market at the moment is that there is still a strong push for managed services in one particular area of the market, and there is a lot of inquiring, a lot of awareness being generated in smaller organizations around services on demand. So for example, if I look at some of our big global clients, managed services is still the route that they take when they're thinking of outsourcing service providers. The nature of their businesses are very complex, particularly because they have a global footprint or because they have complex processes and functions, and often these processes and functions are hard to provide in an on-demand type environment. I think it depends on the nature of the business. The larger the business is, the more complex the business processes are, the more processes there are in fact in that business, it's much harder to design, to architect an on-demand type service, and hence there's still room for a normal kind of managed service operation as we understand it. If the product or service of that organization is a relatively straightforward offering, is a relatively small in terms of the way one defines it, then it makes that process way easier. So the cutoff for me is if I can almost ring fence it quite close to me and make sure that I can understand every dimension of it relatively simply and relatively easily, then I know that I'll be able to offer that service in an on-demand environment relatively easily. Is the objective now about cost cutting? Yes, we've just come out of the really difficult economic situation globally, and there was a very strong push towards more cost-cutting drives. However, as organizations now start ramping up, it's about growth, it's about customer service, it's about enhanced product offerings. And as this starts happening now, I see them more and more focusing on consolidating their global businesses, being able to get one view of their organization, one view of their customer. They're starting to look more at better control, better security, better data management, and all of these are driving it towards bigger managed service operations that's going to enable them to do better decision making. We've suddenly seen a huge swing from global players wanting to get more consolidation, more security in their environments, better decision making, and in their situations I think it becomes way more complicated, way more complex to be able to go with an on-demand type route. In the mining sector, in the fast-moving consumer goods sectors, in some of the big retail sectors, I would see that managed services are still going to play quite a significant role in those areas rather than going to on-demand services. And having said that, though, there might be one area that one should consider. There might be niche services that may well present larger organizations, larger global organizations, with an opportunity to start exploring on-demand services. As I think through this, for example, a key one, I mean, we can all think of that, is our emails. Why shouldn't my email be a Gmail address, as an example? We kind of use it now in terms of our own personal emails. So it does seem that certain applications may well be able to move into an on-demand type scenario, whilst the applications that relate to your core business, I think those will still remain as managed services. Keeping those core functions and those core operations closer to the business, the things that's going to give them the competitive edge or the competitive advantage, I feel that that's going to remain closer to the business and be dealt with in a more managed environment.